Hello there. My name is Daxton Grubb. I'm president at R-Dent Dental Lab, and I wanted to take a moment and share with you some tips and tricks on what is one of the biggest challenges we deal with today in the lab and obviously in the dental office as well is shade accuracy. So the first tip that I wanted to mention today is to have consistent lighting in your operatories. I notice this firsthand when I go out to offices and I'm walking around. I will notice a variation from operatory to operatory in the lighting alone. We strongly recommend color corrective lighting if possible, but the main thing is you want to have consistent lighting in each room to help reduce the variability where you're taking your shades and you're seating your crowns. The next one is to either replace or calibrate your shade guides every 2 to 3 years. This is something a lot of offices aren't aware of, but we see firsthand. Let's say we get a doctor that sends in a Vita A2 classic shade tab, and we'll put it up next to ours, and we'll see that there's a variation. I'm not really sure why, but I do know that some of these shade guides, they do change or alter over time. So it's just something that I would definitely be aware of, that not all Vita classic shade guides are going to look the same always. So just be aware of that. The next is to provide stump shades on all of your all ceramic crowns. This is something, all of our materials just continue to get more and more translucent. Even full contour zirconia, we've got anterior full contour zirconia now, which is extremely translucent. So these require that we have stump shades. So this is something a lot of offices still forget to put on, and we'll call back and they may just tell us what they think it was, but that's shows its ugly face too many times, I think. So just want to remember to always take that as well. And the last tip, which is probably the biggest, I think, is digital photography. This is something that a lot of dentists felt like, and they were either going to have to take a class in order to be able to do this, or buy a $3,000 or $4,000 high-end digital camera. And nowadays, with how good that these cameras are on these smartphones, you really don't need it. To be honest with you, some of the photos that I've seen taken from smartphones will rival those of any of the digital cameras that I've seen out there. And there's some really cool devices that you can also purchase to use with your smartphone. This one right here is by Smileline USA. And it's really neat because it's got its own light source, and you can just clamp on your smartphone on here, and I can tell you firsthand, and I am no photographer by any means, but it will produce some extremely accurate photos. So what we'd like you to do is just get a picture of what the shade tab that you think is closest, to use a device like this, and I'm telling you, it'll help you to nail that shade and communicate that with us. So again, that device here is from Smileline USA. It's called Smile Light MVP. But there's many of them out there, but this is just one firsthand, which we have grown to really like a lot and use here actually on our own custom shades here in the lab. And so we have created a tip sheet that's going to go over a little bit more detail than what I've shared here today on proper tips for taking shade. Just some things to be aware of again, and we're going to have that on our resource section on our website, so keep your eye open for that. So I hope that you found this information today useful. Again, these are just tips that we feel will be very effective in helping reduce one of our biggest pains, both on y'all's end and our end. So thank you and have a great day.